What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy Halucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another. Well, I'm back with a top 10. So this is a combined top 10 thing. For WWE, I top 10 Smackdown and NXT. Uh, SmackDown only had 4 matches, and NXT had a bunch of matches. So instead of doing two separate ones to do like a try to do a weird top five or something like that, I just combined the two and made SmackDown NXT top 10. Um, so of course I have my handy dandy notebook for both shows. I got my top 10 list over here, and yeah. Before I get into it, I would like to say rest in peace to John Huber, also known as in AEW, Brody Lee, or everywhere besides WWE, is I meant All Elite Wrestling. I don't know why I said WWE. Uh, he's known as Brody Lee everywhere in the indie scene, AEW, and then WWE. He's known as Luke Harper. It was part of the Wyatt family, where he was a multiple time tag team champion with um, Eric Rowan. They had the NXT tag team titles in NXT, obviously. They went to the main roster. There was Raw and SmackDown women, SmackDown tag team champions, and then he went to AEW. He won a TNT title from Cody. He had some really fantastic tag team matches. He had some good matches with Mox in AEW. Uh, he had some good matches when he was TNT champion. His stuff with the Dark Order and the being Lee stuff was the best. I just watched the video where they had him in with the Dark Order and the older lady Trent's mom. I think it was Susan over there. He had like she had gave him like a treat or like some goodies or something like that. And so Brody Lee had it, and he like when she left, slammed on the floor. He was screaming at her. He's like, "What are you doing?" And then the lady, and then the woman came out, and she was like, "It's like what happened?" And then Brody Lee said, "Sue, this mother effer John Silver hates your food." And he was like, "What?" He was like, "Here, throw this at him." And so she threw it, but she missed. He was like, "It's okay, do it again." And she did it again, throw it. And then they're all looking at him, and then Brody Lee was like, "You better take a effing bump for Sue." And then he falls on the floor like an idiot. It was great. It was fantastic. Uh, yeah. His stuff with the Usos at Elimination Chamber was fantastic. The stuff that they did with the Shield, I think, was also Elimination Chamber, and they had like a couple other ones. Fantastic. The WrestleMania match against New Day and Usos when they won the tag team titles. The tag team, I think it was a street fight they had against New Day on SmackDown. That was fantastic. Him versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship at TLC when he won it. Yeah, fantastic stuff in WWE that I wish they could have did so much more. A lot goes out to his family. I know a lot of wrestlers have been uh, talking about him, saying nice things about how much of a family man he was and stuff like that. So may he rest in peace, and hopefully they just for 1 week or so don't make it about AEW, don't make it about WWE. Just like get together as wrestling fans. Uh, and who appreciated Brody Lee's work and just get together and say nice things and stuff like that. So, with that being said, I'm going to do my top 10. And so, my top 10, my number. So, at first, I'm going to do what did not make the list. I'm going to talk about some other stuff and do what did not make the list. Uh, and SmackDown didn't really have a lot of like segments and fillers and stuff like that. With WWE, they had to look with the Balor Gargano stuff. They had the Boa and Xia Li stuff, which is really good. They had a segment where I didn't even know that Velveteen Dream was still in NXT. Caught me off guard when he was having when he interrupted Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. It was funny that Velveteen Dream said how have the mighty have fallen, even though Velveteen Dream hasn't won a match since he's been back. Maybe he had that one win against Roderick Strong, maybe, but that was it. Um, Tony had a interview about her wanting to face Io Shirai. Io Shirai came out and she said she's not leaving until Tony gets out and she gets attacked by Mercedes Martinez. So she's back. Um, and then Priest and Cross both have like a video package and stuff like that. So that's all that part that happened with that. And then the number 11 that didn't make the top 10 is Timothy Thatcher versus Leon Ruff. Really, the only reason why I didn't make it was because it was really short. Uh, Leon Ruff won. He did his sneaky roll up win stuff when Timothy Thatcher was like trying to play mind games and stuff like that. And he won. And then he went to attack him. He went to go back in the ring. Tim Tommaso Ciampa came in the ring, boom, hit him with the widow's bell, and then he told him he'll see him in the pit, which I'm assuming that he will win. Not he as in Ciampa, he as in Thatcher will win, and maybe he goes to the main roster. I'm guessing. Um, but yep, that was number 11. My number 10, getting into the top 10, is Tyler Rust versus Arya Davari. This match was solid. This was Russ, showing off what he can do. He has Malcolm Bivens in his corner now, which is always great stuff to see. Um, Arya Davari is a great talent. Made Russ look like $1 million. I like when they did a segment. Malcolm Bivens said that Russ was he referred to him as a diamond in the rust. I like that. But he did win. He hit him with that one spinning thing that looks like a finish that he did on Tommaso Ciampa, and he ended up with a dope submission move that had Davari tap out for the win. It was good stuff. Hope to see good things from him. Oh, one more thing also did happen. I forgot to mention. I just completely forgot about this. Brunson Reed is back too, and he had a squash match against Adonis. I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, he came back, he squashed him, and that's when Io Shirai came out, and and a lady was like, "Hey, did you hear what I think it was Mackenzie? She was like, "Oh, did you hear what Tony Storm had to say about you?" She was like, "Yeah, I heard it. Play my music." And then they played the music. She went out there. It's great stuff. Next, number 9 is Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Tony Atlas. Um, Jake Atlas. Again, this was a decent match. It was good stuff. Uh, it was a little weird for me because like they're both. I don't know if Swerve was trying to be heel because of what happened last week. He was trying to be heel. Uh, Jake Atlas was acting a little aggressive, heely type thing, and it was just like kind of weird. Uh, Swerve kept laughing at everything Jake Atlas was doing. It was kind of weird, but like the stuff that they did was good. Swerve is really smooth in the ring, and towards the end, Jake Atlas had him on the ropes, and then he headbutted him, and then he hit him with the what was the name of that move? I wrote it down because I knew I'd forget. Confidence boost for the win, and then he got all happy and he tried to shake his hand, and then Jake Atlas got mad. He's like, "You know what you did?" Like, "What did he do?" He's like, "He headbutted you. Headbutts are illegal now." I don't know. It's weird, but I guess that feud is continuing. Uh, I think it's weird that I don't know because both of them are in a cruiserweight division, and they're probably fighting. I'm guessing to see who's next as for the number one contender as cruiserweight champion. But he's already like he's already beaten both of them. The champ, he's already beaten both of them. Kurt Stallion is probably next in line. I don't see Kurt Stallion winning against Escobar. So, like I said before, I think the next person after Kurt Stallion who should be in there should be Leon Ruff, who's having a match against Gargano next week after his win. He said next week is going to have it. It's not going to be a New Year's Evil. So again, I assume that Johnny Gargano is going to end his curse and win it, and then maybe hopefully there'll be a thing where Ruff, is down in the dumps or whatever, and then that's when Phantasma comes and does a thing with him, and then maybe hopefully he beats Escobar for it. So there's new opportunities for people because I'm tired of seeing my boy Swerve get beat by Escobar. I want him to be champion, but I'm tired of seeing him get beat. So we'll see what they do with that. But that's number 9, Swerve versus Atlas. Number 8, Dakota Kai versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is really good. Dakota Kai is really good. This was a really good match for the women. Um, I like Dakota Kai. She's more confident than she's been. She's really gotten into her role as the heel. She plays her part well. Raquel Gonzalez was banned from being at ringside, but that doesn't stop her from being at the entranceway. She was there. Rhea Ripley was taunting her the whole time, and Raquel noticed that she couldn't get in there. Um, she was doing the Texas Cloverleaf with one hand, and she was going like this. It was good stuff. Uh, she wins with Riptide. And then she taunts after she does. She taunts her to get down there, so she goes down like go slow, and then the refs are trying to get her in, and she gets in the ring, and the ref goes that tries to stop her, and then like she like kind of like lightly picks her up and like moves her there. So like, you stay there, and then they start fighting each other and stuff like that. It was good stuff. But the match was cool, and then the after stuff was good stuff. So their match is going to be probably at New Year's Evil, which I'm assuming Raquel's going to win. She has to win that match, so I'm assuming that's going to be a thing where she wins. And then later on, and later on, Dexter Loomis, of course, doesn't talk, so he does his drawing stuff. They had the thing with Raquel versus Rhea, and it said last man standing or last woman standing match. So that's going to be last woman standing match. It's going to give Raquel that W without actually making Rhea look weak and having her eat the pin. So that's one good way to wrap through that. Number 7 is Drake Maverick and Killian Dane versus One Two Punch for the tag team title for the tag team championships in a street fight. This should have been higher on the list, but it wasn't because I don't know why they're doing this. It's this weird thing they're doing that they did on Raw as well, where they're doing. So they started off like cool street fight. They were beating each other up. They came from behind, slamming people on stuff. And then they went in the ring, and it was like a tag team match. It was like a regular tag team match. They just use weapons uh, while they were in there, which was I mean, it was fine, I guess, but it was like weird that they keep tagging each other in. Like I want like my street fights to be like what they did with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso when they fought. I think it was Corbin and somebody else. I don't remember. This is where Jey Uso was like he was in his I'm a when Roman was champion when Jey Uso was in his oh my god we're cousins I love you and stuff like that, and he kept interrupting and stuff like that when he was just doing these things when they were having like actual like not tagging in but they were just fighting. Like this is what I assumed street fights was supposed to be, just like how they're supposed to be, like they're tornado tags and then you just fight, but they're tagging each other in, and I don't know if there's like a new weird Vince thing that Vince wants everybody to do, but it's weird that you're tagging each other in. I don't like it. Stop doing it. There was a bad spot where they tried to push Killian Dane off the ropes to the table, but the table didn't break. That sucked. And in the end, One Two Punch had hit their DDT thing on Drake Maverick for the win. So they still retain. I mean, it was still a fun match, but the weirdness with the tagging each other in and stuff. It's like it's a street fight. Like you're gonna get disqualified in the street fight for not tagging in. Like what? Makes no sense. But the match was still really good. Number 6 from SmackDown finally. Uh, by the way, SmackDown was really good. So I mean, and it only had 4 matches. So I mean, get what you get. Jey Uso versus Daniel Bryan. This match was really good. Can't complain. Um, they they've had matches before, and this was probably maybe their best one that they've had. They've had two others. I think this was their best one. Again, very physical. Jey Uso attacked Daniel Bryan from behind. I liked it. In the end, Daniel Bryan gets this win. He hits the knee plus. Uh, I like that he tried to do it the first time and he reversed it to a super kick. He tries to go for an Uso splash. I think Daniel Bryan got like his knees up and stuff like that. He tried to go for a suicide dive, and Jey Uso like moved out the way. He like flew at the announce table. A lot of great stuff in here. Daniel Bryan wins, and then of course they said, I don't know if they said it on SmackDown or in an interview, like a backstage exclusive. They asked him what was next, and he said one thing that he wanted to do was win the Royal Rumble. And of course, that would probably maybe set up him versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Who knows? Maybe. But there's something about that I'll talk about later. But Daniel Bryan, J Uso still killing it. Number 5, back to NXT. A very Gargano Christmas. I know it wasn't a match, but man, this this was fantastic. I loved everything about this. So the Garganos are uh, at at the house with Indy Hartwell and uh, 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 what's my boy's name? Austin Theory, and they're just doing silly stuff for Christmas. They was like, oh, time to open presents and stuff like that. And they're getting ready, and Gargano has like uh, he has like the video camera. He was like my favorite. It was like my most important prized possession. And like he pans it out to like the North American Championship, and it was like, hey, how's your Christmas, honey? And it's just like, it's good. They do like a whole bunch of way jokes. And Theory goes like, "No way, Jose." And then Theory's like, and then Gargano's like, "Hey, no, we don't say that. He's not here. There's a whole thing that no, don't say that. Stop eating the cookies." So that was hilarious. He gave him some Gargano powder. He was like, "Oh, this is gonna be make me like you," and stuff like that. That was hilarious. Then he went to Indy Hartwell. And it was like, "Oh, here's your present," and it was like a PS5. It was like, "Oh, it's a PS5." They looked at it, was like, "Wait, what? Wait, what?" It was like, she was like, "It's empty." He was like, "Well, yeah, the PS5. No, that was for me, but I just gave you what was inside the." It was like, "There's nothing. It's just a box, but I have something better than that. Than what I can give you, and your." It's like the nickname that we bestowed upon you for being such a loyal person. It's like, we now deem you indie wrestling, which is hilarious because the indie scene, indie wrestling. She's Indy Hartwell. They call her Johnny Wrestling, Candice Wrestling. So now she's indie wrestling. Hilarious. That's fantastic, which is great. And then of course, he gave Candice LeRae a wheel that was like a wheel from, I think, one of the from the tank that she ran over. And then Gargano, of course, like, everybody knows I hate wheels, but I traveled all over for you. This is the wheel that I had to go dumpster diving for or whatever like that, and she loves it. That was whole fantastic. But the indie wrestling thing had me dying. Oh, Gargano he's just on fire lately with these Garganos. That ever since they did the thing where he was inside the house and he was doing the weird thing, ever since then that's been hilarious. He's fantastic. Number 4, back to SmackDown. It is the Queens of Tomorrow, what they deem themselves. Asuka and Charlotte Flair defending their women's tag team championships against Bay Mella, which is Carmella and Bailey, and Bossiest, Boss EST, Sasha Banks and uh, uh, Bianca Belair. They came out and they did a whole bunch of stuff. Bailey came out, was like, "Hey, ding dong, I'm longest reigning champion all time. That's me. I'm the best." And Sasha comes out, "I'm the best because I got the title from you." And then Bianca comes out and she's like, "EST, I'm the best." And then Carmella comes out, she says, "I'm the best." This match was really good. I didn't expect this tag team match to happen, but I'm glad it did happen. This is good stuff. This is probably just a one-time thing because I don't. Maybe Carmella and Bailey might maybe sort of tweak into the tag team division because Sasha already beat both of them, so maybe they'll go in the tag team division. I know Bailey still has a thing with Bianca Belair, and it showed during this match. They did all the hits. They went back to the Sasha uh, Charlotte stuff, which is always good stuff. They went to the Charlotte Bianca stuff because of their stuff from NXT. They did Oscar. They did Oscar Sasha. I think they did Oscar Bailey. Um, yeah, that was pretty much like the big stuff that they did. Bailey got eliminated first from Oscar, and then they was sitting there watching her stuff, and Carmella and Bailey made sure that Sasha and Bianca didn't win. Bianca looked like a star though, and then she ended up falling to the natural selection. A lot of people didn't like that she lost to again because she just lost to Sasha Banks. I mean, she just lost to Bailey last week, but it's okay. It's Asuka and Charlotte. You're not gonna have the SmackDown Women's Champion lose. Um, and I mean, it gives them a reason that they hit her like they did double team tag teamed her, and they did some stuff. They took out her, so she's all by herself. So and then she still fought, so it was good stuff. They made her look strong, so it was good stuff. Next up, back to NXT. Number three, Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream. This match was really good. This was the best match on NXT. And it was good. I don't know why they went back to this match. It was really weird. It was random, but of course they don't have bad matches, and they didn't. And they did this. Dream hit a purple rainmaker for two, and Adam Cole hit him with a super kick and last shot for the 1, 2, 3. This is good stuff. Uh, so as you can tell, two matches left. They're both from SmackDown. Number two, Uh, I wanted to give it number one, but I just couldn't. Sami Zayn versus Big E for the Intercontinental Championship in a lumberjack match. This match wasn't long; it was like 10 minutes maybe. They had like an ad break in there. I really wanted to give it. I wanted it to be number one, especially because of the ending where Big E wins the Intercontinental Championship. I just think that there was too much foolishness going around. What they did was obviously good. They had the lumberjacks beat up Biggie every time he gets in there. Every time Sammy gets in there, they throw him back in there. But it was really mostly like Corbin and his people like really beating him up. Corbin and his goons beating him up. And towards the end, Sami Zayn tried to run away. Uh, Apollo Crews like Usain bolted it and tackled him, and all the babyfaces got him in the ring, tossed him in there, and Biggie ran him over. Big ending. 1, 2, 3. He wins. Fantastic. I mean, I loved every part of it, but it was just a lot of extra stuff going on. It wasn't like Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. That lumberjack was fantastic, but this was like a shorter version, like a mini version of that with the ad break for whatever reason. Um, yeah, so I assume that we get a rematch maybe at uh at Royal Rumble, which I would hope for that they do. And then they get a proper match where Big E retains and stuff like that. But this was a fun match. Good for Big E. Glad he's winning. The thing that I wanted to say was he was on Talking Smack, and they did a thing where, of course, like they did a couple weeks ago, where Paul Heyman talked about Big E, about how he deserves to be Intercontinental Champion and maybe some future stuff. Big E got on the mic again. Him and Kayla was talking about how happy he is to be champion, all this other stuff. And then Paul Heyman again talks again. He was like, "Look, I know you're a gentleman. You was raised right by your family." He was like, "We." He was like, "I know." He's like, "You're trying to do this out of respect for me, and I get it. I know what after you're doing champion. I know your next step is you want to face Roman Reigns. You want to be Universal Champion. Like, who doesn't? Like, obviously you do." And he was like, for the second time, telling him, he was like, if at the beginning of the year, Roman Reigns would have asked me about you, he's like, hey, what did you think of this guy, Big E? I would have said, tag team guy. The greatest tag team ever, but tag team guy. He doesn't have a chance against you. Now this Big E, yes, this guy has a chance against uh, uh, Roman Reigns, be Universal Champion. He has that. Was it what it takes? And one day down the road, you two will face each other, and it's gonna be big box office because Big E is big box office, and he was like big him up and stuff like that. So I know that they're doing a lot of different things to give challenges for Roman Reigns, which I like. They had Daniel Bryan go say he wants to win the Royal Rumble, and he also was on Talking Smack, um, and saying that whether he wins the Royal Rumble, he wants to face the Universal Champion, so that would be Roman Reigns. He's Paul Heyman's bigging up Big E to face Roman Reigns, to get him more serious to get in that role. Kevin Owens obviously has his thing with Roman Reigns. Of course, they have talks of Goldberg. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that they're doing for to get Roman Reigns prepared, and I like all of it. Speaking of Roman Reigns, number one and Owens, I guess Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns Universal Championship steel cage match. This was a fantastic. This was probably the best cage match that they've had in years. This is probably in years. This is probably the best cage match. This cage match was fantastic. Um, so many times, like again, it's like like just what happened at TLC. He's not. Kevin Owens is not going to win, but they still find a way to make you think it's like, oh no, he's gonna be Roman Reigns. He's gonna, and then he doesn't do it. And then, of course, as always, Jey Uso gets in the way. He tries to do it, and then he slams the cage on Jey Uso's face. Roman Reigns comes out. He tries to like Superman punch it or whatever. He moves out the way. Stunner. And it's like, oh, he's gonna win. He's gonna win. And then Jey Uso handcuffs him. Uh, Jey Uso's like, hey. And then Owens is trying everything he can to like get on his feet to even sort of try to touch the ropes. And then Roman Reigns like sees what's happening. He realizes what's happening. He just starts smiling. He's like, ha, see, head of the table. Owens is calling him a little B word, see a little bitch, biatch, and stuff like that. And it's good stuff. It was fantastic. It's like you're a coward, also stuff. And as he was walking down the step one by one, still Universal Champion, the stuff they did in there, kicking out of spears, kicking out of Superman punches. Like when he kicked out of the spear, because he hit him with a Superman punch, he followed it up with a no, because I think Kevin Owens was going for a pop-up power bomb. He hit him with a Superman punch, and then he went for a spear, and he kicked out, and Roman Reigns was like, what? And congratulations to Smackdown for, I think they went to like 3.31 million. I think they said it was 3.31 million altogether for Smackdown for Christmas. And I think they even said that um, towards the end, like the main event, Big E versus Sami Zayn, because obviously there was spoilers, they already spoiled it. Um, Went to like I think it was up to like 4 million viewers because everybody wanted to see Big E win the championship. So round of applause for SmackDown. They killed it. This was a fantastic show. With the four matches, fantastic. This is what Raw needs to do. I mean, it could be 3 hours. I don't really care, but you just put on fantastic matches, and people will watch. You don't need legends. You don't need these weird stuff. All you need to do is have fantastic matches, and people will tune in. Obviously, but yeah, that was fantastic. That whole match was great. Great steel cage match. Great SmackDown. Pretty decent NXT. That was my top 10. What did you guys think? Did you like the top 10? Would you change around some things? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.